Alrighty. So, live stream time. Just going to wait a little bit for some people to get into the live stream here. Once we get a couple people into the live stream, we'll actually start talking. Of course, this is a random and unknown stream, but it's a weekend, so I figured we would go ahead and get a stream in. And let's see what we got going on here. Okay, so as let me adjust a little bit here. As the title says, R.I.P to laoshu505000. So for anyone that doesn't know who this person is, this person was a polyglot. Of course, a polyglot is a person that learns a lot of languages, and it's been posted around on the internet that he's passed away. And he was one of the people that, as an example, when you travel abroad, you realize very quickly that you need some language ability, right? And this guy was kind of like one of the original language speaking guys that taught languages, and he spoke like 20 languages or something. But he made these awesome videos because he would go into places and like the cojones on this guy, right? Like he would walk into a Chinese restaurant, right? And he would speak to people, and he would in Chinese, of course, in Mandarin and Cantonese, And so he was kind of one of the original language people. For those that don't know, there's actually a huge language learning community on YouTube, and for me, it was a big deal to hear that he had died, because when I knew that I was going to go to China, I knew that I had done, apps and things like Memrise and these websites that like people use to learn languages. And you kind of learn like some words, but you never really, you don't learn how to make conversation, right? And this guy, was doing something very different. His name is Moses McCormick. And he, like I said, he learned a lot of languages, but he did it differently. He learned how to piece sentences together from the very beginning. And so for me, it was really important because from the very beginning, I actually paid. I'm one of those people that I believe if you enjoy someone's content, then you pay for it, right? If you like some music, there's nothing wrong with paying for a streaming service or whatever. And so I paid for this guy's language learning pack, and I learned probably more in just like 3 weeks from his language learning pack than I learned, a few months using, Memrise and all these apps and shit that people want you to purchase on your phone. And this guy, he was like a great YouTuber. Like I said, he would make these sentences and teach you these sentences to where you could go to China, you could go to Spain, you could go anywhere in the world. And for those people that watch my content, that like my number one like gripe and bitch and complaint towards shills and other people that live in China is they don't speak any Chinese, right? Well, this guy, Moses, he was the opposite. This guy had balls. He would walk into a random store, a random place. He would walk up to random people and just start speaking Chinese, right? And, for me, that was a huge deal because that's kind of where I was like, hey, if this dude can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean? And, even tonight, like my wife and I, is kind of embarrassing. Like we went to like a Chinese restaurant, an American Chinese restaurant, right? And I'll speak Chinese or whatever to waitresses and people. And like before, like this guy's video, and of course, like I've lived in China, so that helps too. But before I had ever went to China, I used to do that too because Moses, this laoshu5000 guy, like he was doing it too, and he made it cool. You know what I mean? Like he would walk in and he would speak a language, and people would just be like, "What?" And like that's the one thing that I always loved was when you went up to a Chinese person and you spoke Chinese, you always got that like, "What? Oh, 你会说中文." You always get that like, that, oh wow, you could speak Chinese. You know what I mean? And they always hit you with that. And this guy, like I said, was one of the originals. So I heard about it from Xiaoma. For those people that don't know, Xiaoma is another YouTuber, of course, that walks around New York and speaks Chinese. Same type of content, pretty much, but only in Chinese. Maybe there's some other languages. I don't know. And so Moses passed away, and I looked around on the internet. Doesn't say why. Maybe I guess there's speculation that he had heart trouble or something like that. But I wanted to take some time off from the shill thing and to show perhaps some humility, on the channel here that not everything is always about shill killing, right? And that a major part of China and going to China and the community is learning the language, right? And this guy was essentially a trailblazer in language learning. This guy was someone that, again, learning one language is time consuming. Two languages. A lot of Chinese people speak like 2 or 3 languages, but this guy probably spoke like 8 or 10 really, really well, and spoke a little bit of a lot of languages, I would say, maybe upwards of 20. But I wanted to make just a live stream, of course, to catch up with my viewers, and to, of course, say rest in peace to him. And that it reminds me of the significance of being able to speak the language, because I wonder what it would have been like had, I went to China and spoke absolutely nothing and didn't even speak the basics that I had learned, from his system of being able to ask people for directions, or being able to ask people, for certain foods, or how much of something, and, his systems, I don't know if like, his language learning systems are still going to be for sale. So I don't want to say, go buy them, because I don't, when people pass away, there's a lot of weird things that happen, right? To do with money and things. But, I'm just saying that his language learning system for me really worked right away. And he was part of the reason that when I went to China, I felt pretty comfortable. A lot of times when people go like to China, it's very, very different, right? It's culturally, of course, language and people and places and things, everything is very, very different. But a major advantage is speaking the language, right? So again, just R.I.P to this guy. And, I hope to kind of segue into some other discussions here. R.I.P to him. And, we're going to talk about some other discussions and things like that are kind of going on too within the YouTuber / China community here. So I suppose if anyone has any questions or anything that they want me to talk about, go right ahead. There have been some people to kind of segue away from the R.I.P. Laoshu. I know 10 minutes. I didn't know him personally, so I can't say as much as I would want and as heartfelt as I would like. But it just saddened me that he passed away, and that his content, hopefully there's a lot of saved content that his family can put out because he made great content. So let's see. So I'm going to kind of start segue away here, talking about the Jayo Nation, one of our favorite streamers, of course. Jayo Nation, of course, is he said he's making a new channel. My new channel, nuance. I guess if you want something to laugh at, go follow his channel, go subscribe, right? Because that's what we do. We share around here. You know what I mean? We don't do that bullshit where we're like, well, we don't talk to this guy. I don't care about that type of stuff, right? So Jayo, he's creating a new channel. You've got to follow his new channel, Nuance, and apparently it's just his old channel. It's the same thing of it's the same thing of his old channel. Apparently, I don't really understand travel, culture, society, politics. It's pretty much his old channel. I don't understand why he made a new channel. Perhaps I think he finally come to realize that he ruined his old channel. If you look at the Jayo Nation, his old channel, he struggles to get like any viewership now, and that's because all of his real audience, he's like ran them off with his like politically driven videos, and the rest of his views are just bots. So I think now he's hoping to sever what is left, and hopefully keep those travel related people, which I mean, it's not going to work. Here's the other thing. Like, I know that it sounds, but it's just that no one cares about his opinion. Whenever you start standing up with the group of people that represent something negative, people don't really care anymore, right? It's sort of like whenever you align yourself with the CCP, regardless of if your opinion is good or not or correct, people don't really care anymore because they realize that from that point on you have an agenda anyways. And so I don't really understand why he made a new channel. It just looks like his old channel. And to be honest, it kind of looks like he just made a channel about Serpent ZA. I think like Serpent ZA, whenever he made a video about Vegetable Gate, I think like it really hurt some feelings. And now I think people like Jayo Nation are they're you guys know what I mean, the little tear. And I just think that I think that he hurt some feelings when Serpent ZA. Here's the thing, it's really I will be honest for the sake of viewership here. Many of us in our community, we were really hoping that Serpent ZA would say something for a very long time. Serpent ZA was always very hands-off. He was always very stuck to his channel, his niche of just talking about social aspects of China. And he never really blamed or pointed out anyone for propaganda, right? Especially not by name. And, it's like someone like Serpent ZA has man, I don't want to like, like all I don't want to give a Serpent ZA a blowjob, but like he's helped everyone in this community in one way or another, and it's really funny because he's helped Guelo and he's helped Jayo, and then like they've all kind of turned on him. And so for the longest time, we all hoped that he would at least acknowledge the fact that like these people have turned on him. And he didn't really even do it until recently. And it was pretty funny because Serpent Zede made one single video where he didn't really even mention anyone, and then they got all like they kind of just cried and made a big deal about it, when it was like he didn't really even mention you. He just mentioned that propaganda on YouTube is a very real thing, and of course it is. And I feel like it's the same thing for my channel. I don't get off into American politics, and the reason that I don't do that is because my channel's not about that, And so that was the reason that Serpent Zede for so long didn't want to get off into it, and I understand his reasoning very much so, and that's the reason that I don't get off into American politics too much. I could rant about Biden and I could rant about Trump for weeks, but it's just not what my channel's about. And I think that Jayo again has realized that he made a huge mistake in getting involved in the politics, especially when like he just took up the propaganda. Like that's all he did was pick up the propaganda. So it's just to me it's just really funny that all of a sudden he thinks he needs a new channel. But whatever, if he wants to make a new channel, go right ahead. Some of the next content that I think that's coming in the future, I think there's going to be some Barrett content in the future. Haven't filmed or anything yet, but hopefully some some Barrett content. It's kind of funny because a lot of these guys, they tried to use that. Oh well, Serpent Zede and Sea Milk, they're not in China anymore. Even though they don't apply that same standard to themselves when talking about America or the Western world. But now the COVID situation, in my opinion, in America at least, is getting better. Travel is getting better, and perhaps as the season moves on, I would like to get out and we're going to do some traveling videos and things like that, and definitely do some comparisons about a lot of reasons, why I'm in America now, why I've came back to America, why I've chose to stay in America, because I feel like I could say all that shit and do it in my room, in my office here, but like, why not just go and show you, right? So that's kind of the plan. I feel like I never explained it very well why I left China, even though I've said it before. And yeah, so let's see. Let me read a few comments here. I don't think today is going to be a very long stream. I say that every stream, and then it becomes a long stream. I don't know why. So R.I.P. Moses, yes. R.I.P. Laoshu, yes. So sad that he passed away. I can't believe it, because it was like, they always say, oh, it was so random, but it is like, why would you think that like that guy would die? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just random. Like if my fat ass like died tomorrow, you'd be like, well, he's fat, but he appeared to be in good health. But yeah, Jayo Nation seems to be having a midlife crisis. Isn't that true? I've never seen somebody like Jayo, the way he is in this situation. Like Guelo and those guys, and then the new shill, the new old guy shill, like those are the typicals, right? Those are like the typical guys. You're like, well, they're old, they can't bang anybody, so they just picked up some younger Chinese woman that wanted a visa, Jayo Nation seems to be. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I read that already. He married a woman solely for money to show the stupidity of money is stuck in a country. Yeah, that's the thing. Like Jayo's wife, the family is wealthy, and so it's pretty much It's great, you know. It's everything. They have that. I guess in that way, they do have that typical Chinese relationship. Chinese woman with money wants mixed baby. Guy that used to sell used cars in America, like, you know, gives baby, gets to travel around the world and do all the things that he wants, and she pays for it, right? It's kind of you know, I guess it's perfect. I guess if my wife was super rich, perhaps I would travel constantly too. I don't know. I would much rather like pay for myself though. You know, like it's kind of weird for me. Like I feel like if my wife was super rich, I would still try to find my own way. I'm not saying that I wouldn't accept money or accept help, but I would try to, you know, find my own independence at least. Um, I wonder how he will rationalize Biden being almost as hostile to China as Trump. I don't. I'm not going to get into that topic. I don't think Biden is, but you know, not getting into that topic. I remember a couple years ago on Joyo's live stream, he completed avoid political stuff, then go over then Joyo. Yeah, yeah. See, like, well, see, here's what happened: is a lot of those people realized that like they can be political. They just have to be one sided. You know, hell, I could go back and live in China too and just be like, oh, America sucks, man. Have you guys ever seen the roads in America? Oh my God, they got guns in America. You know, I could easily just like pick out anything and make it sound negative about America. And I could completely just trash America and I would gain views and subs. And you know, I could stay there for my entire life. But if I was like, oh man, China, did you guys see that last video by Serpent Today with all the toilets? You know, like I would eventually get kicked out, you know. So it would just, you know what I mean? You realize that you can talk politics in China. It's just very one sided, and I think he found that out too. Of course, you have people like Nathan Rich, you know, and you see like what he did. He made super controversial videos, and even me, like I made controversial videos when I lived in China. The difference was that I made a few and then I left. You know, I didn't stay there for forever. Um, the USA has a decent vaccine. USA putting down draconian lockdown measures. Yeah. Here's the thing. Like when I go out, yeah, I wear a mask, but like I take it off when I get to places. I think a lot of people, and of course, you know, I'm in the Chicago area in Illinois, right? And this is one of the more like annoying places. But I would really like to get down to Florida or Texas or something, um, or California. But I know California is tough on the. California wants 2 masks now. You got to wear 2 masks and a fucking hat, and you know you can't whatever, right? They want you to wear a hat mask, and you got to protect your fucking head from, you know, droplets and all that shit. But warm weather would be nice, but most of all, um, you know, in the sense of like what happens locally, not much has you know changed. Not much has changed for me, except being able to travel internationally. Like I think that's become a lot, you know, a lot more difficult. So, R.I.P. Laos, sure, such a tragic loss. Lots of conspiracies already floating around. It's crazy. Yeah, you know, I don't know, man. Like I said, I read something about that it was like a heart condition or something, but who knows? Like I don't want to say that and act like it's confirmed because it's definitely not. You know, but it's sad because like he was a really cool dude, and I'll miss his videos. I used to love his videos where he walked into places and talked to people. You know, why learn a skill when you can give your hot takes on YouTube? I know, right? Why put in effort when I could just sit around and just talk trash all the time? Fuck it. Let's not even investigate things that we're saying. Let's just, you know, let's just talk shit. I respect Winston for not naming their channels for a long time. Yeah, I think that he didn't want the drama, and I think one of the reasons that, like, for me to talk to like C Milk, one of the reasons that he doesn't talk to me is because he doesn't want the drama and he doesn't want to be associated with that. And but I think maybe perhaps Winston is a little more daring, because as you know, whenever you talk to Prime in China, there's definitely going to be some drama, some shit throwing there, because I throw it all the time on my channel, and that's just the way that it is. And I think that someone like C Milk doesn't want to be associated with that. Whereas if for the long time Winston didn't either, but he finally kind of like got tired of being picked on. I feel like Winston was picked on for Winston was picked on for a long time. So Daniel Dumbo is the biggest imposter for Shill. It's obviously you're wealthy and married a wealthy Chinese woman. Somehow he thinks he's successful, but he's just saying, yeah, his parents were wealthy. He had a multi-million, like he had $1 million home that he sold before he moved to China. So it's not like, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot different when you grow up from nothing and then you become successful. To whereas if you're born into it and you've always kind of had it, you know, like I've worked in finance. I've seen both. I've seen people that were born into it, and I've seen people, of course, that have whatever. Let's see. A lot of people are implying his health was fine until he died. Wow. Are suspecting foul play. His brother's YouTube channel implied it too. Wow, really? I don't know. Like I said, I didn't know Mr. Moses in person or anything. I had sent him messages and talked to him back and forth a little bit years ago when I had purchased one of his language learning things. I know that his brother had a channel, and I know that he has also had some. He's also had some controversy, and he's had not like I don't know how to explain it, and I don't want to get into that either. But I know that he's had some controversial videos too. But I wouldn't, I don't know how it would be, whatever. And you're saying his brother's channel implied it. Wow. Maybe I will have to look into it. That's interesting. I would hate to think that somebody would do something like that, but I don't know. I don't know these people personally, right? Canadians are basically stuck driving back to Land Brothers after they're stuck with hotels and they're forced to pay for, right? Laziness and greed is taking down our civilization. I believe Winston also just likes to call it bullshit. If something smacks him or just irrationally, he shook him. Yeah, like here's the thing. Winston is the same as I am in that way. When somebody's picking on him, when somebody's talking shit, or when someone's lying, I'm that kind of person that like takes maybe the more controversial route, because I grew up in the city, and when you were talking some bullshit, there's always that one guy that would stand up and be like, dude, you are just talking some bullshit. And that's how I am, and I'm not saying that like as a thing to brag, because it definitely gets some unwanted attention, but I just can't sit around and just like see the bullshit and just be like, just let it slip by forever. I'm the kind of person that like when somebody's treating somebody else like shit, I'm going to stand up and be like, leave them the fuck alone. Like that's just, that's who I am. And I'm also the kind of person that if you do dumb shit constantly, I'm going to make fun of you, like that's just how it is with the shills. They do dumb shit constantly. They say dumb shit. They dance with fucking vegetables, and then they know what the fuck they're doing. So, let's see. Who would win a beer drinking contest between Prozzy and Guelo 60? Now that is a question. That is a real question. I don't know. I feel like Guelo has him beat over the long term. I think Guelo's been a drunk for a long time. I think I don't know if Prazi. Again, I don't know Prazi personally. I don't know if Prazi's I guess you could say a person that drinks with other people, or if he sits at home and drinks. But that Guelo 60 is definitely like an alcoholic. You know what I mean? Like he likes beer as much as I like fucking Cheetos. You know what I mean? Do you know the name of Jayo Nation's new channel? Just type into YouTube nuance. Some people have typed it in the chat, and you can find it. Yeah, Mark and Moses had a fallout not long ago. Everything all went south very quickly after they moved to Arizona. Looks fishy, but it could just all be coincidence. Yeah, I don't know. I think like I feel like life is a very strange thing, right? A lot of things that seem that seem like they tie together to create a story of negativity a lot of times don't make sense. A lot of times things happen for reasons which are misunderstood and they're random and it's really hard to tell, and I don't know. So let's see. The new channels is called Nefarious. He says the word nefarious in the video of him announcing his new channel, and man, I can't believe these guys started using this stupid word consistently in all of the videos. It's just so corny. It's just so they don't realize how corny and how stupid that it looks, and that's what makes it even more embarrassing. It's like, stop using this word. You look retarded. It's like, just stop. And they have no idea, They have no idea. So then again, like to be fair, like they've created a lot of things that were really, really corny. Like we started using nefarious all the time because they said it and it was freaking stupid. Just like they started talking about, shills and stuff. And so we ran with shills, and same thing with like hit pieces. They were like, ugh, Pyramid China with his hit pieces. I'm like, hit pieces. I never thought of that, like they created the word hit piece. I never thought of it as a hit piece. They created that shit, not me. I never, and like, here's the thing. All the stuff that they come up with is like on my channel is their stuff, so like you see me using the word shill, like they created that. You see me using hit piece, like they created that. All the videos is their stuff edited together. I don't do nothing. I just get on here and talk, and a lot of the shit that they say is so embarrassingly silly that, just editing together and allowing people to look at it is just embarrassing enough. It's like how they made those videos talking about how they were shocked that like this company wanted them to spread propaganda. It's like, oh, they've wanted more propaganda. And it's like, all of your guys' shit is propaganda. And then they got tired of it because it was too much propaganda. It's like, it's just, and the vegetable dancing, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not that creative. I couldn't take them and be like, okay, guys, we're going to dance to vegetables. Like, I couldn't do that. I'm not that creative. Things that embarrassing only come along randomly. And unfortunately, it's Chinese creativity, Chinese propaganda. Chinese propaganda, I'm going to say this. Chinese propaganda is embarrassing. It's embarrassing, man. When you look at Chinese propaganda, it's fucking hilarious because it's like it it works on like Chinese people that have been brainwashed since they were little kids. But when you watch it as a Westerner, you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, what's even happening? And so whenever you see like white people, Western people, not just white people, but Western people doing these things, propaganda driven material, it's just insanity. Like it's confusing. It's like, what's going on? Um, because it's planned and it's written by Chinese people for propaganda purpose, but it's all like Westerners that are participating. And any Westerner would look at it and would just be embarrassed. Like, I mean, how many like as you guys in the chat, just ask yourself for a second. If somebody was like, hey, we're gonna have you dance with vegetables, how many of you would be like, fuck it, we're gonna dance with vegetables? Most of you would be like, are you kidding me? I'm not gonna dance with some cabbage. It's not gonna happen. But you know, that's the propaganda, right? So that's what they want. Sea Milk and Winston can barely sell their cars. I think there's an aspect where the guys try not to go out of their way to make beef. Celebrity can work against you. That's why you make sure you get paid. Here's the thing, like Winston and Sea Milk have something very different than like I do. I make a little bit of money off my channel, and I appreciate it very much. Everyone is wonderful. I love. I'm just like everybody else. I love when I get a donation. I love that I have patrons. I love that I have commenters. I love that stuff, right? It's so awesome to think that, like, let's say I want to buy a new light for the stream. Every so many months, I can afford to do that because people donate. You know, I'll go out and I'll buy a new light, and hopefully that, you know, or a new shirt. I'll be honest, like I bought a new shirt with Patreon money, and you know, I should probably say that. You know, I should tell people that probably, but it looks better than just wearing my same old shitty T-shirts that I always wear, right? And that's great. But people like Winston and Sea Milk, it's very different for them. They have to be careful because you're supporting their families, you're supporting their livelihood. But they're good people. As someone that knows, like, that talks to Winston, like he's a good person. You know what I mean? He's a good person. So, you know, it's like you could be giving your money to some really shitty people or some really shitty causes. You know, nefarious, just as corny as Western media bias, anti-China YouTuber, pro-China YouTuber. I know, like, I hate this whole pro-China YouTuber, anti-China YouTuber, because it's so freaking embarrassing. They wanted to like separate the Western audience from the Chinese audience, which is like the stupidest fucking thing you could ever do. It's like, but let's be honest here. People like Guelo that wanted to do that wanted to separate the audiences. People like Nathan, they're not the smartest people when it comes to understanding your audience, right? Someone like Guelo, like he doesn't understand the analytics. He doesn't understand his audience. He doesn't understand who watches his videos. And so what they didn't realize was that they were really hurting themselves by making the Western audience distasteful towards them and calling themselves pro-China YouTubers, because like, and then calling us anti-China YouTubers. You know, because admittedly, like, you know, I do love China. I do like China. It's just that there's bad things about China. There's negatives, and our channels are about China. If my channel was about America, I would tell you about how shitty the roads can be here sometimes. I would tell you about those things. I would talk about how, in my opinion, there is some government corruption. You know, and those are just my opinions, and I don't expect anyone to agree or disagree with me. But if my channel was about America, I would talk about those things. You know what I mean? But it's not. So it's like, whatever, you know. Maybe you should do a video on some of the proclamations the CP's made, how they worked out. Macau is the new Hong Kong, Beijing, cultural capital of Asia. Beijing, like, I'll tell you the truth. Um, the city that I disliked the most in China was Beijing. I just didn't like it. It has a good foreigner community there. There's lots of foreigner restaurants. I just didn't like it. Just didn't like it. I didn't like how there was that nationalist feeling. I didn't like all the political feelings that was there. Um, just didn't like it. I've seen some Chinese people say stuff on the metro there that were kind of like they didn't want the foreigners to be there, and I'm kind of like, you know, I can't blame the whole city of Beijing for that, but just saying that my few experiences with Beijing were not, I will tell everybody that wants to go to China, if you're going to China, hands down, Guangzhou, Shenzhen. I'm biased. I love Guangzhou. A lot of people love Shenzhen. Those two cities are great cities for Chinese cities. You're next to Hong Kong. You're next to Macau. Where else can you go that's any better in China? It was pretty funny watching the Veggie Dance video. Yes, I couldn't believe that they put out the Veggie Dance video. I feel like 2 years from now, I will still be talking about VeggieGate because it was just such a huge fucking thing to see that it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. I just joined to tell me this is a joke. No, not a joke. Sorry, would not joke about a death of someone. That would not be a joke. Actually, that would be a horrible joke. Anyone that would joke about someone's death like that should be hit in the head. Even those people, those kids that are like R.I.P. Joe Rogan, like every fucking UFC MMA stream, like fuck you guys, like fuck you. That's just not funny. Dumbril is the most dangerous shill. I think Dumbril is like so toxic that he's lost a lot of credibility. I would have said in the beginning, sure, I would say Daniel Dumbril was a very dangerous shill, but he's become so toxic that he's lost a lot of credibility. Like nobody wants to see his shit or he wants to hear his opinion because he's, so toxic. I feel like that's one thing, like him or hate him, that Barretts do. They make their opinion and they push the propaganda and that's it, but they're not toxic about it. That's the one thing. They're not toxic about it. Now, of course, they say some really dumb shit. I don't know how they didn't know that tea was from China, but, whatever. Anti-British media bias. I don't know. I would say that there are definitely some anti-BBC stuff out there for sure. Laoshu was awesome. He was an amazing man. He will be missed. Yes, for sure. I loved his channel. His videos were awesome. Like nobody used to walk up to people like him. At least in the beginning. Would you describe your channel as anti-CCP? No. Anti-CCP. I would say no. I said no sarcastically. But it's a good question. And the reason I will say that it's a good question is because my channel is not really about CCP so much. It's about anti-propaganda and the people that are putting out that propaganda on YouTube. And you're kind of saying, and you're probably thinking, well, isn't that anti-CCP? And it probably is, right? I'm definitely anti-CCP. I don't like CCP. I don't believe in the bullshit. But I can't end the CCP. I don't have that power. But what I can do is I can mock and I can disprove and do all that stuff of the propaganda that are being posted by people on YouTube that is pushed by the CCP. So it's kind of like which battles can you take, which battles can you win? Well, I think the battle of stopping shilling is something that we can do. I think if we let as Westerners, if we let these people know that we're not going to watch your content, if you push propaganda, we're not going to watch your content, then they'll go away because they'll have to. They won't make any money. They won't make any get any views or any subs, and that's the most powerful thing to me because I can't fight CCP directly. So that's the battle that I choose. But am I anti-CCP? Is my channel anti-CCP? Yes, but I guess that's not. I guess that's the much larger picture that is not possible for my channel to reach. Now, if I could directly get attention of CCP members, yes, that would be fucking awesome. But probably not going to happen. Not right now. Let's see. I'm going to scroll down. Scrolling down. DD is a very mean person from what I can tell. Yeah, like Daniel Dumbro. Here's the thing. I poke fun at a lot of people. I poke fun at the propaganda and the people that are pushing the propaganda. But there's no ill intentions towards any of those people. Like if I seen Guelo60 get hit by a car, would I run out there and like pull him out of the street? Well, would I? Yes, of course. Like, of course I would, right? I would help him. If I seen Guelo60 like drowning, would I save him? Yeah, okay, of course, sure, I would save him. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't wish anything ill will to happen to them. But Daniel Dumbro is the opposite. Like he's literally said things that were like insane. Like he's. I remember when he had the Rashan Abbas interview, and he essentially blamed her for the CCP abducting her sister. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like you're like justifying the abduction of a human being, like the kidnapping and abduction of a human being. Like how do you justify that? It's unjustifiable. If you commit a crime or something that's a justifiable crime, it's a realistic crime, and you go to jail, like, oh, okay, but just because somebody says something you didn't like that's a little harsh. You abduct people because they go against your political propaganda. It's a rough one there to convince people of, What does Guelo's audience consist of? Well, look at his channel. It's very, very low views now. And he's making all these random titles of is China under attack or some bullshit like that. It's always some random title. It's mostly bots now. People that are subbed to him that never comment and don't really watch his video. They just sub to him, and they don't watch his content anymore. It's gotten stale, and that's because his content is like it's always just the same propaganda. You can only make so many park videos. You know what I mean? Before, like, people are like, we know parks are great. We know that green trees are nice. People know that. Oh, what? Thanks for the donation. Dim me urge. Bro, how do you say that name? Bro. Simidima urge. Thanks for the $10. It is appreciated. Mitchell McCallum, thanks for the streams, buddy. This has been a good outlet for me as an ex-China expat. Yeah, see, like Mr. Mitchell, you get it, because like you're an ex-China and an ex-China expat, right? Like that's how you get it. A lot of people are like, there's two different groups of people. There's the people that are like interested in China, and then there's the people that have came back, right? And the people that have came back from China, like, they just fucking get it. You know what I mean? They're like, fuck. You guys fucking get it, And then there's the people that I'm so worried that, like, they're going to get to China, and it's going to be way different than what they expected. Because it was way different for me than what I expected. You know what I mean? And so, like, I don't want those people to get there and then it just be. I don't want people to get there and it just be so different because I feel like you should be prepared. I feel like that's our job, right? When you watch someone's channel for information, you would like to hope that they're doing their best they can to give you the correct information, right? And so when people say to me, well, like, should I learn some Chinese before going to China? And you're like, no, of course not. Look at Duelo60. He only says Bai Joe and Pijo. It's like, listen, that is not a good source of information. I'm sorry. Yes, please, if you have the time, learn some of the language. Go to the laoshu505000 channel. Watch some of his videos. Get like excited, go out and talk to Chinese people and learn some of the language. Like I want to make sure that people understand that you have to be prepared for China. And I hate when people pass off the propaganda as if like, yeah, you just go to China, you don't need to learn any language. English is everywhere. Like, no, it's not. It's not everywhere. Daniel Dumbro, poor little rich boy trapped in his father's shadow. Actually, anytime that I have always made fun of Daniel for having rich parents, like he got really angry. So I'm going to say that's probably a soft spot with him. Barrett speaks so slow, thinks he's mentally challenged on the spectrum. The father, I've spoken to him personally on WeChat. And I don't... Daddy Barrett is not as dumb as he comes off. A lot of people think he's really slow and dumb. He's not. He's very aware that he's pushing propaganda for income and for money. And you can take that how you want. You could say, well, that's even worse. Or you could say, well, he's a pretty smart guy. Or, you can take that for whatever you want. But that's the truth. He knows that he's saying these things for money, right? And I want to thank you guys for the 20 thumbs up. We got 20 thumbs up. When you have a channel as small as mine and you get 20 thumbs up, that's awesome. I appreciate that. I really do. Thumbs up seem silly. They seem worthless, but they're not, God damn it. When I look back and I see a video that has like 8 thumbs up, I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, was it not worth it at all? Did nobody like the goddamn video? One thing's for sure, I've cursed a lot in this video. This thing is not getting monetized at all. This video has way more cursing than a Miley Cyrus, a fucking Miley Cyrus PC police would ever allow, That's for damn sure. The Shillers get so deep into the cult. Yeah, they do. Like, that's the thing. Like, some of them even start believing the bullshit. Let's see. I'm scrolling down a little bit. Any thoughts of providing a counterbalance to YGZ and highlight cool? Let's see. Food places in Chi-Town. Yeah, like there's some really good dim sum, here in Chicago. I think that's the one thing that like really surprised me was when you live in Guangzhou and you live in like the mecca of dim sum, you think that like there's no way that they could replicate that. But it's just not true. There are some really good places. There really are. The main thing is I need to find a Chinese hamburger, the rojiamo, and when I find a good one, a good place that serves them, I'm going to make a damn video. This is why I respect you, Winston, Matt, Mikey, and Lilo Farley. You guys tell the truth based on your experience. Bullshit. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, again, like we're people that have been in China. We've left China. And we're just very realistic. And a lot of people said that about Winston and C-Milk. And even me, they're like, why did your guys' videos change? You guys left China and your videos change. Is it to make money? And it's like, no, it's like, you fucking can't say that shit in China. You can't talk about the surveillance. You can't talk about the Uyghurs. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't discuss that shit when you live in China. You would literally go to jail, He died. Some people are spreading rumors. Started his brother, but nothing has been confirmed. Yeah, I hope that like foul play would not be um in laoshu500000 Moses McCormick's death. I would hope that foul play was not, again, not knowing the guy in real life, but he seemed like a cool dude. I don't know why anybody would. Why would they want him dead? What would the motive be? You know, it's kind of like strange, but I like a lot of like ghost type stuff, alien type stuff, and crime mystery stuff. You know, why would anybody want that guy dead? You know, Moses McCormick seemed like just a cool, normal, average, everyday guy that just happened to speak a bunch of damn languages. You know. Whoa, what the heck? I agree. What the heck? Have to admit it, Lee Barrett makes good money talking about topics he knows nothing about and refuses to invest money, time, effort into learning about these topics. Yeah, that was the funny thing, was like when they were like, yeah, we're out here veggie dancing and we're like out here spreading propaganda and good news about China. It's like, yeah, but did you guys plant a single seed? And they're like, no. It's like, of course you didn't. They didn't actually do any of the work, you know. Let me scroll. I'm scrolling, guys. This is why I'm anti-shield. They create false expectations. Exactly. Here's the thing: like, if I wanted, I could easily put out 10 videos in a row saying good things about China, and nobody would question it because people already know that I like China, right? But if I started lying about China, if I was like, pollution in China doesn't exist, people would be like, bro. Like, people would start giving me a hard time, you know what I mean? Because they realize that that's bullshit, you know. So that's the problem. Is it's not that they're positive on China. Like, you can be positive on China all you would like, but when you start pressing the propaganda, like, people can read between the lines usually. Exactly, because not everyone's going to go to Shenzhen. That's the other thing. Like, if you want easy mode China, like, you go to Shenzhen, you can go to Beijing. You know, Guangzhou's a little harder, but it's still pretty easy. You know, Shanghai, you know, easy. Yeah, you can go to those places. It's going to be pretty easy. But like, you should go to other places in China too. And like, if you're not going to Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, like, then you definitely need Chinese, and you already do, you know. When Aguila 60 and Jerry Good touring Vietnam, but interested to see how they're. You know, I'm going to be trying to do a video with Jerry Good, a live stream. But we all have, you know, I'm in America, he's in China, time zone differences and things. I'm probably going to be doing a stream soon with YGZ Taiwan, talking about some stuff. And yeah, as an expat female, I had no local Chinese partner spouse to help me with my daily life. I reckon we're more tougher than the expat males. I think, like, from what I've seen for women, I think that there's certain advantages to being a woman, and there's certain disadvantages to being a woman in China. If you want, like if you're, and I guess this is about teaching English. If you want those little kid jobs, like, women are always going to be offered those little kid jobs, you know. I think that's one advantage, but I think it's easier for a guy to find a girlfriend than it is for a girl to find a boyfriend in China, and I think that that's just, you know, a lot less Chinese men seem to speak good English than Chinese women, and I think that that's a realistic expectation. And a lot of these guys are dependent on their girlfriends, you know, to help them, to do everything for them, you know. And so, yeah, if you're a Western woman and you go to China, and you have a hard time finding a boyfriend, which is possible, you know, yeah, it probably would. It probably would be tougher, you know. But I don't want to say that it's all disadvantageous for females. It's not all, but you're probably right about 85 or 90% of it. Yeah. Um, have a thumbs up. Oh shit, we're up to 33. I didn't even know. That's what happens. That's what happens when you. God damn it, we're at 34. That's what happens when you look at the when you look away and you get the thumbs up and you don't even know. I appreciate that so much. Didn't we agree last stream that Barrett had done a lot of drugs? Probably. Hey, I don't know personally, but you know. Jonesaman, you're in here? Holy shit. We have a CCP, a real CCP member in here. Amazing. Amazing. If you're into spooky stories, you should check out some of the text-to-speech channels that narrate 4chan stories on the export. Really? What is this? Maybe you can you should check out some of the text-to-speech channels that narrate 4chan stories from the export. What is Reddit? What do I? Is X what the is this like the dark web type shit? Sorry, I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. I'll have to look more into this. I want to say I'm not religious, and I don't believe in ghosts, but I want to be proved wrong. Damn it! I want to see some good ghost evidence. Maybe that's immature and that's childish of me, but I want to be convinced. Damn it, because I've seen some scary shit in my lifetime, some questionable shit. And maybe one day I will tell the story of the questionable, ghostly stuff that has happened to me that's made me wonder. But, you know. Have you discussed the new CCP campaign, making up hate crimes in the U.S. against CCP agents? You know, I hate that, like, there's this really the U.S. is anti-Asian. They're anti-Asian. They're anti. Hang on, I'm putting a mask on the camera. I'm putting a mask on the camera. They're like, oh, the U.S. America is they're so anti-Asia. They're so anti-Asia. I'm sorry, and it's like they'll point out like the 5 like people that have like been killed in New York over the last 10 years, and it's like, you know, whatever, bro. It's not to say that like negative things towards Asian people doesn't happen, but at the rate that it's happening at doesn't mean that like there's an issue that is beyond the average, you know. Of course, China. Are the videos of course? Is this another channel that I should know about? Should I know about this? Of course, China. Okay, I'm Googling. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh, it's got Fernando on here. You sick bastard. How dare you tell me of this channel? I didn't even know it existed. I don't know what to say. I just called a viewer a sick bastard. No, Fernando is like, I've said it before. I met Fernando in person. He wasn't rude or disrespectful. He kind of cried about Serpent Today a lot, how he disliked him personally. And I was kind of like, I don't care really so much. I just wanted to film video. And I don't know. He's just really naive about China, but he comes from Colombia, right? And he thinks Colombia is a dump, and he hates Colombia. He just doesn't say it. He pretty much told me in his car that Colombia is a dump, that he hates Colombia, and he has no will of going back to Colombia ever. And that's the reason that he's so supportive of China. So he falls into that category, right? We all know that like there's some people that are from like South Africa, and even like Winston Serpentete will tell you that like South Africa is like not the greatest place. You know, you don't need me to tell you that. Like he himself has said that in his videos. You know, I don't want to speak for him, but he has said that in his videos. And that's part of the reason that he probably felt that China was so amazing, just like Jerry Good and Winston did. Was in the beginning, like when you're coming from South Africa, it probably does seem pretty fucking amazing, you know. Does Nathan Rich have his team yet? That's the funny thing. Like, you know, Nathan Rich like jokes about, like he talked about having a real team, and I kind of have a team. You know, I have people that I talk to. You know, Haley Rule in the chat here, like, you know, we're in a group and she discusses things. You know, keeps up on news and topics, and a lot of my commenters too. They'll come to me and they'll say like, "Hey, have you seen this channel?" You know, like Mr. JD did. You know, "Hey, have you heard of this channel?" You know, you guys are like, you have no idea how valuable you are to my channel. When you guys come to me and you're like, "Hey, did you see this video?" or "Hey, did you see this channel?" A lot of times, you know, I don't respond, but I check them all the time. I always check them. Anytime you leave me a comment like that, I check it. I may not like answer you back like, "Hey, thanks for that recommendation," or something, but I definitely check it. And like I look at it, and it could end up in a video. It could end up as a discussion. So it's like this, of course, China. It'll probably be in a video now. It'll be discussed because, you know, Mr. JD here, you know, brought it up. So thank you very much. It's appreciated, you know. So there is kind of a team. Now I don't have anybody doing like a real team. Like I don't have anybody filming me. I don't have anybody like doing translations for me, you know. But you know, I've got a group of people that are loyal to me, and I'm loyal to them, and we're just friends too. You know, we share a lot of the same opinions. Just stick to the X board or look up the channel. I'll have to find the X board. Do I just like Google it? And I'll have to look. You guys are interesting me now. Using Western owned and operated social media platforms to bitch about. That's the other thing. Like, why aren't they on Weibo bitching? Oh, that's right, because they fucking don't speak Chinese. They can't, you know. They can't go on there and bitch in Chinese about it, so they don't. You know. Anti-Asia stereotype. I seen this thing by like liberal media in America where they were like, Canada's now the #1 place for Asian people or whatever to go, and it was like, so what? You know, I was kind of like, so what? I feel like I just feel kind of like if you have to question like America's you know, the way that America is, then maybe you shouldn't come here in a sense, because no, like America kind of created that shit. And I'm not like being negative towards like Australia or Canada or anything. The Western world is definitely the most open and free to different people. But like that's kind of what America started, and maybe Canada does better now. I don't know, but you know, America is not for everybody either. Canada is not for everybody. Australia is not for everybody. New Zealand is not for everybody. You know, so. Fernando has a Napoleon syndrome. Yeah, you know, like I'm not the tallest person in the world. Okay, you know, hell, I'm only 6'1", but like Fernando is like he's quite a bit shorter. You know, he's quite a bit shorter than I am, and you know. Latinos kind of have this problem where they buy into the propaganda that China puts out and wants to believe there's something bigger or better. Yeah, there's been a lot of people. It's funny that you say that. There have been a lot of people that have messaged me recently that are like, hey, there's a lot of Latino people that are really trusting the China propaganda, and you should make videos and talk about it. But I don't, I would have to get a person in that community to come on and talk to me about it. It's not something that that I think I feel confident in discussing. On a more practical note, yeah, who knows about the COVID vaccine thing? Yeah. I used to have a buddy that worked for Pfizer in China, and I used to be able to talk to him about that stuff, but I don't talk to him much anymore. Or else I would ask him and try and share. Hey Prime, I finally caught a live. Please tell me that Australia isn't fucked. Australia is not fucked. There you go. It's not fucked. Canada is like a lesser Sweden, in my opinion. Sure. I guess I'll go with that. That's okay. As I worry daily since Winston said they own us. I think Australia has an issue. You guys, it's Australia is closer to China. It's probably easier for you to trade with China than it is, the rest of the Western world. You have there's some major influences with coal and things like that we all know of, and perhaps Australia is not as independently possible of sustaining itself long term had some China issues arise. America, like if America told China to go fuck off, like, yeah, it would kind of suck. Yeah, it would raise the cost of a lot of shit here. It definitely would, but it would get by. Whereas if I don't know about Australia, and I don't live in Australia, and I'm not like some economic advisor of Australia, so I wouldn't take what I'm saying, at whatever. But yeah. China to roll out vaccines quickly. They just announced a 2-session, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like my wife, she's already like anti-vaccine. She's like, no, you can't get your vaccine. No vaccine for you. But like if it was the China vaccine, my wife would be like, no, definitely not. Because we've all heard about the vaccines in China before and how horribly they've done. And if you remember, like the China vaccine, like, what was it, less effective than they thought it would be in the very beginning or something, it's just like I don't trust the vaccines of China as much as I would the Western world. I just don't. I don't trust that type of stuff. You realize that there are definitely quality variances in China with things that there probably shouldn't be. Again, it's kind of like Winston's toilet video, Serpent Today's toilet video. You'd think bathrooms would just be clean no matter where you go in the world because it's a fucking bathroom. It's a toilet, right? But the world's not like that. That's not realistic of the entire world. And China is one of those places where there are still some dirty toilets in places. Sure, you can go to the mall, find you a nice, clean Western toilet, but you get out into the China, and you're going to be looking at some holes in the ground. China Uncle Mikey says, pretty bad to hear laoshu. Yes, so sad that he has passed on, and I'm gonna miss his videos. Scrolling down. Well, I'm not scrolling because my hand is here. I'm not scrolling. Okay, now I'm scrolling. A lot of the UK's private schools are now being bought up by China. I'm confirming with my clinic that my vaccine was made in America before I accept it. Yeah, there's a lot of real estate and stuff that's owned by Chinese people here in America. You go to like California and you go to the SGV, San Gabriel Valley. It's like living in China, right? And so a lot of people that are like, oh, oh my God, America is a horrible place for Chinese people. It's kind of like, really, you know, how many other countries allow other groups of people to control such massive amounts of areas in their country? Could you imagine like an area in China, like let's just say it was a huge I don't know, 20-mile by 20-mile area where we could just put up American flags and just all American businesses and shit, like, you know what I mean? Like China's not going to go for that. Like it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. China has yes. Yes, quality control. Quality control is like the thing about China. Like that's why a lot of foreign companies they go there, but then they send quality control people over. I didn't take the vaccine in Shanghai. Yeah, for those that don't know, uh, China Uncle Mikey is a YouTuber in China in Shanghai, and he's kind of a as the shills would call him, anti China. He's a Chinese anti China YouTuber, I guess, even though he's Chinese. I don't know what you want to call him, but check out his channel. Some good content on there. He kind of gives his opinion as a Chinese person about China and certain things. Of course, there's certain things that he can't talk about because he's in China. But I think it's fairly obvious how he feels about things. So yeah, check out his channel. It's a great channel. It really is. Just about at the end of the stream here, an hour and 17 minutes. God damn it. Just like I said, it's going to be a short stream today, guys. Maybe 30 minutes. Short stream, guys, maybe. And then, like, it always ends up being an hour and 30 minutes. Hopefully, I'll end it in the next 20 minutes. We'll have to see. I would expect an account in China would need to be comfortable with compromise. Yes. Yes. Compromise. Haza in the house. Haza. 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 Where's my phone? Where's my phone at? Where's my phone? Where's it at? Okay, time to send a message. Hey, Mr. Haza, Mr. Haza, do you wanna come on stream? What time is it in China? It's got to be like, you want to come on stream and talk? We can hash out some discussions. I don't think China Uncle Mikey is anti-China. I mean, it's good to hear about China from Chinese people for a change. I know, right? Isn't that amazing to hear a Chinese person give their opinion on China? All these fucking white people, always giving their opinion. I literally just got out of bed, and you already look good, man. You're great. Throw on your suit and tie. You don't have to do that. Just throw on a nice shirt and hell, stream from bed. Can you stream in bed? I mean, let's be honest, man. It's 10 o'clock for me, but hell, I'll stream for the next 2 hours. I don't care. Let me see if I can I'll wake up everybody and we can stream on here. I don't have nothing better to do anywhere. Mr. Uncle Mikey, do you want to come on the stream also? Do you want to come on, Mr. China Uncle Mikey? And Haza? Hell, how about anybody in the chat? Does anybody in the chat want to just come on? You guys want to just come on the stream? I mean, shit, we can just have random fucking people come on here if you're not afraid. even some trolls. Like, you want to be a troll? Come on, you can call me fat. I don't care. It'd be great. Melbourne. Oh my gosh. Mr. Jung, you're gonna come on? Holy shit. A real CCP member, you want to come on? Oh my gosh. Holy shit. I can't believe that. We could have a real CCP member come on. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to go get me a drink of something, and I'm going to switch to StreamYard so that I can have some other people come on. And if you want to come on in the broadcast, you can come on in, and if you have a webcam, be a big boy. You can use your webcam. If you're a little afraid, but you want to talk, I guess we'll allow you to talk. That's okay. I don't care. You don't gotta. I mean, not everybody is as handsome as this fat guy, right? But you can come on in. And so give me about 5-10 minutes to get a drink, and I'll restart the stream and post the link in the stream. And random people can join, and you can, of course, if you come and you make fart noises and shit, like, I'm going to kick you out, but, that's okay. So 5-10 minutes. Be right back.